What's up, folks, and welcome back to Dice Reacts Unhinged. Yes, got the lights turned off. Yeah, I gotta get some candles, but it was a little too late for me to do. But guys, we're gonna do it like that. Bear with me here. Yes, we're gonna be checking out 5 sounds from gaming consoles that spooked us as kids. Not sure if this is going to be accurate, but I'm not sure about theme songs, but I'm definitely I can remember some songs in famous games like Mario and those kind of games, Super Mario. But I'm gonna see what this video has to offer. So I hope you guys are ready for this one, because I am.
Old gaming consoles fascinate me, and although they're not as high-tech as today's consoles, gaming consoles from the past have some qualities that make them just as good as the latest systems. However, one very distinctive quality that old consoles have are their so-called Easter eggs and error messages. Coming across these as a kid really spooked me, and the reason for this was not because of the visuals on the screen, but the sounds that came with the message. These eerie sounds definitely seemed out of place for a console that was meant to entertain, and it surely scared a lot of young gamers. That said, here are 5 gaming console sounds that spooked us as kids. Sega CD warning. Now this first sound doesn't come from a console, but rather a game disc with a warning, and the sound that plays in this message is just as creepy as the following sounds on this list, which is why I felt this needed to be here. This message would play after inserting a Sega CD disc into a CD player instead of the Sega CD console. In other words, if you were to place a Sega CD disc into a regular CD player, you would get this message. Here, listen.
Warning, this disc is for use with a Sega CD system only. This disc contains CD-ROM data and is not for audio use. Please press stop on your disc player now. This disc contains CD-ROM data that may damage your audio system.
What is going on?
Please stop playing this disc immediately.
According to others who've tried this, leaving a Sega CD disc in the CD player would damage the speakers due to the loud, high-pitched guitar riffs that played. Now, I don't understand why Sega inserted those sounds when the woman who spoke sufficed, warning us with words instead of with nightmare.
Yes, it's kind of crazy. I mean, friends of mine had had a Sega. I played Sega for a while. Wasn't a system that I enjoyed. Never really enjoyed that system. But I've never heard anyone mention that until now. So I'm gonna have to ask them myself if they happen to hear that message. It's crazy that it's just weird that they had something like this on the CD, and whoever came up with that idea, I don't know. It's very creepy to know that something that old has something like that on it, and very few may have known that. Wow, interesting.
Inducing sounds would have been enough to make us eject the CD, and it would also have saved us from hearing those eerie sounds. Fearful harmony. Unlike the sound I just talked about, this next one comes from a console, the PS1. The PS1 startup screen has always given me chills. Hearing that sound after turning on the PS1 wasn't scary, just pretty cool to hear. However, there is a sound on the PS1 that frightens me to this day, and it can be heard if you inserted a disc that the PS1 cannot read, such as a pirated game or a damaged disc. Upon inserting an unreadable disc, the PS1 would start up as usual, but after a few seconds, you would then hear a loud and startling sound and arrive at a screen similar to the startup screen. Then after waiting for a few seconds, a sound known as Fearful Harmony would begin to play. Here's the sound.
Can't remember.
Now what makes this frightening is the slow increase of this sound as you wait. It's almost as if PlayStation inserted this just to creep us out enough to never buy pirated games. This error message surely spooked me, but it isn't the only one from PlayStation.
I can't recall that.
As you'll see next, there's more sounds from PlayStation consoles that scared kids. Personified fear. Just like the previous sound, this next one can be heard on the PS1. Personified fear, the name of the sound, can occur if you inserted an unreadable disc or if the BIOS of the PS1 is corrupted. Now, unlike Fearful Harmony, Personified Fear stops playing after a few seconds. However, that's just enough time to make you feel uneasy. Here, have a listen.
That is eerie, man.
The sudden swoosh of the sound and its harshness was just enough to give me goosebumps. But what makes this scarier is the silence that follows.
Yeah.
On top of that, you also arrive at a black screen. The darkness coupled with the silence can put you on edge, expecting a jump scare. Thankfully, there was none of that.
Wow.
The PS2's red screen of death. By now, you're probably surprised that most of these sounds come from PlayStation consoles. But I promise you that the last sound on this list will not be coming from a PlayStation, and
Really?
I also promise you that it's creepier than the ones I've already said.
Gotta brace myself
Now
for
this
that.
error message, known as the red screen of death, appears on the PS2, and just like all of PlayStation's error messages, the red screen of death comes with an unnerving sound. Listen.
Yes, I've heard that one for sure. I've heard that one. I've heard that one. I've heard that one. Now we're gonna take a pause here. I won't say that one is creepy for me because I like weird stuff, but it's kind of it kind of puts me in a realm when I used to hear it. You know, it's just like a virtual reality, and it was kind of relaxing to my ears in a weird way. But coming to think about it, I can see why it can be very spooky, especially for maybe younger kids, and also maybe the type of environment that you are when playing whatever game you were playing, and that happened at the time. Maybe if you're playing in darkness, you know, or you maybe you're a little on the edge, you know, or you're frightened easily. I mean, that can be really spooky here, if you ask me. Yeah, PS, they got a lot up their sleeve.
You can get this message by inserting an unreadable disc, such as an Xbox or PC game. Seeing the screen turn red as dark ambient music played is probably what made this creepy. Now, before I move on to the next sound on this list, I just want to add that PlayStation has made other creepy things like their commercials, and because of that, it makes me wonder if PlayStation deliberately made these error messages frightening. Who knows? Xbox. If you've ever owned the first Xbox, then you've most likely heard one of its creepy sounds. Unlike the other consoles on this list, Xbox has a few hidden sounds, all of which are downright creepy. Now, most of these sounds play in the background as you wait on the console's dashboard, but there are some sounds that are well hidden within the system. These deeply hidden sounds were discovered after someone had extracted the audio files from the Xbox's hard drive. And to no surprise, these sounds are quite unsettling. Here's some of the sounds that were found. According to Microsoft, these sounds are actually public domain audio from NASA transmissions from the Apollo days that they tweaked. In other words, these were NASA transmissions that were modified in such a way that they came out sounding creepy. And the reason for adding these sounds, according to Microsoft, was so that the console would seem like it was made of technology from another world. Their intention to make the Xbox unlike any other console by adding those sounds was a success, but hearing those sounds as a kid didn't make us think Xbox was a superior console. It just left us feeling uneasy.
I can imagine.
Thanks for watching. If there's any creepy sounds from consoles I left out, let me
I can imagine. Man, it's a good thing I never heard that as a kid, because I'd be frightened. Man, this took the cake. This one was the worst out of all of them, because hearing all those sounds combined, it just sounds so, like you said, I never thought that Xbox was better than PS, but it would certainly make me feel uneasy, maybe not even wanting to play this console, especially during the night and I'm alone. Hell no. Yes, I mean, all those creepy sounds can't be by coincidence. It had to be deliberate for specific reasons, and Microsoft gave a reason for putting that there. But I wonder what PS has to say about their sounds. What, if they had an official statement on what inspired them to put it. Because it just can't reach there by themselves. I mean, those sounds, it was put there by someone or team. So wow, I would like to see maybe a list of maybe like top 5, top 10 games, like sounds in games, like stages, really like scary. And I would think that Super Mario was going to be there. Maybe like some of those castles. Da, 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 da. Yes, when you try to kill, when you're in the castle of one of those bosses, I think the first castle, man, that was creepy as hell. Still is. So if there is a list, maybe from that same channel, or maybe on there's a channel that I've done this, hit me up in the comments, send a link for me, and I'm going to check it out. I'm definitely going to be reacting to it. Yes, guys, I enjoyed this one. It was really spooky. Yes, guys, still testing out different things on this channel, lighting and everything. So there's a few things I'm missing, so bear with me on this channel. We're going to make it as spooky as possible. Yes, guys. If you want to see more, what you gotta do, you gotta subscribe to the channel and wait it out. Until next time, peace out.